to show when the oil was changing this last. Look at that. Oh my God. This thing starts, it's going to be a miracle. What'll happen now is probably it'll block one of the oil galleries, or I don't know, oil line to the turbo or something like that, and make mincemeat of the whole lot. But I just want to get it on the back of a lorry. I've been told this engine is bad, but I suppose I've also been told that I was able to start, so I just wanted to track onto the back of a lorry, and I can deal with it after that. But it would be good to test out some engine degreasing products on this to see what kind of sludge there can be got out. So if I'm looking at my finger here now from the other side of the camera, it does seem to be water bubbles on it, so there has been water getting in there as well. I don't know, has it cooked the oil? Does it have some sort of head gasket issue? I don't know. But won't be long finding out. So I'm going to leave this drip away into this jug, and I'm going to deal with the fuel issues first and fit the pipes onto the lift pump. I'll get back to this in a minute. Hopefully it'll stop dripping. It's been nearly 10 minutes now at this stage. Hopefully it's nearly finished. I can put new oil into it, but I'd rather maybe put diesel down through it first. Maybe I might do that. Wash diesel down through the engine and let it come out the bottom, and see would that do anything to it. Yeah, might try that. So I managed to pick up a banjo bolt. It's a second hand part, but it actually works. I called to a tractor supply. Thanks to Christy who got me going here. So I'll give you a mention. Just fitting back the part here again, and just put on the banjo bolts. The bolt is a bit undersized for the actual pipe. I'll try and prime it now again. So stick my hose back into it. Whoa, oh yeah. This is the old filter. I'm gonna leave that on for a while. So it's just this mission is just purely to get on the back of a truck and get her loaded and get her home. I'm gonna leave the old filters on for a while because I'm not actually too sure if this engine will start. What I want to do is cut the hose in half, have a supply and return, and should be okay from there then. Claved in under the machine. The starter is there. You can see the positive wire going in and a negative above it. So across the two of those, spun for a couple of seconds and then jammed up. So I'm here underneath the radiator, trying to make some space to get a socket on the crankshaft pulley, and so the bolts are up there. You can't see them with the bad lights, but I think that's one of them there. You can see that's the other one there on the outside. So that's the next mission now, is to get those off. Try and muscle out the radiator a small bit, and then try and get a socket on the crankshaft pulley. To pull back the fan, I took off that bolt. That bolt there is a side cowl there. Took all them off. I took this off as well. I'm after putting it all back together. I was able to pull out the unit enough to reach at the fan, give it some good leverage, but we're able to do it now with the fan and so on, so there's no need to pull it all back. So I've just opened up the diesel filter there on the machine. Seems like there's a lot of water in it. If I'm running through my fingers there, it doesn't feel oily as such. It feels kind of more like a watered down diesel more than it is. So good to drain that out, and hopefully I'll be able to pump some fresh fuel up through it. So it feels kind of varnishy now. I think I've gotten down to the diesel side of it, but I'm gonna let it drain all out, and I'll try and pump some fuel, pump some fuel up through it. Hopefully that'll do something for me. So I didn't actually bring a filter with me. I should have had, but hopefully it'll do just to get it started. So that's all drained out there now. I'm going to tighten up again a small bit. So I'm putting some batteries into it in an effort to try and start it. So as you know, when this is onto the body, so this is onto the starter, so just follow it through. I'll have to cross the starter, I reckon, because I doubt there's any electrics working in this. Just get another spanner for that. Close your eyes if you don't like voice grips. Oh fuck. Still not working for me. Bit of gentle persuasion, I reckon. So I'm just after taking out one of these bolts here to get a size, and you can see the other two are loose. This is the actual bolt in question. I thought there might be a hole in it like a normal banjo bolt, but it seems to be just two flat sides on it, which won't be that hard to recreate using a grinder. And a standard bolt. It's something I must pick up though, that's the only thing. It's a bank holiday weekend here, so and it's a Friday, so I'm trying to get my list of stuff together and get it tomorrow in the motor factors. If we can hit the ground running, to be great. So I had to go off of undoing this. I
don't want to stick a screwdriver into the side of it, as I not sure will I be able to get it this weekend. So I'm going to leave it on. I have a parts manual for this. I'm going to look up the code of the oil filter and have it going to the motor factors tomorrow, so I'll be able to pick up the right part. So oil, fuel, there's water in it. It's only water. I should have put a bit of antifreeze, but hopefully I'll have it out of here before it's required. And so next on the line on the agenda is to get the right size hydraulic fitting for that, and to do that I'm going to just take off that component and bring it to the hydraulic shop. Last day she was low on oil, brought on a few drums with me, just going to top it up there now. I noticed a few things the last day, she had a few leaks and things. I didn't bring blanks that I discovered were leaking, but it was just about making a list and start out a fuel filter and an oil filter. So I'll get on that. Ooh. Good investment might be one of those impact drills, but my trusty ratchet will do for a while. The oil drained down to that hat again since the last I was here. As I said, there was a few oil leaks, and predominantly out through this diverter valve, maybe for a quick hitch, potentially. I'm not 100% sure, but there was oil coming out these ports when I had it running. So I must get blanks for it. I'm going to take that off and take it with me to a hydraulic component shop, and I'll have it with me and I'll be able to get the proper components in. In the meantime, I'll fill up this as I have the drums on me. This is not normal hydraulic oil. Fuck. I'm gonna have to fish that out of it. Should have seen that coming. What am I going to do for that? Need some sort of wire or something I can start fishing with. So I just stuck my hand in and I got this out, but it's not the actual one I wanted. So go fish. That's the one I wanted. So, good thing about that check is that I didn't come across any chunks of material or metal filings. There was nothing really obvious in there. They were the two main solids, so it's not too bad. There's a filter on the bottom of it. Right, I must get a rag and clean off my hand. looks like it's only going to take 2 to bring up to the minimum. I actually brought 4 with me. But I'll definitely throw 3 of them into it. She had it in there, but kind of came out again. So it's the top of the hydraulic filter, I'd imagine. So it's on there again. There's no movement. It's to the bottom of that clip there, and that seems to be the low level. Managed to free up the engine. I took back the fan. There was several bolts. I pulled it back a bit, but I was able to get it with the fan after. I didn't have to take out the whole lot. First of all, I'm going to try to crank the engine. So I cracked the pipes. I'm going to try from below. Today I'm back on the machine. I don't know if I shown these valves the last day, but I fitted them in the meantime. They didn't show up in the first video, but they might in the second. Today's mission is to get the injection pump going, so get the diesel to the injectors. So I was having a problem with not getting fuel delivery. So what I'm trying to do is take off the cover here on the injector pump and try and free out the rack and see if there's any issues. Hopefully there won't be, but you never know. So I hope, stay tuned here, and we'll try and get it started. To fix this injector pump, I'm going to begin by taking off this cover and freeing out the rack inside. So I'm going to get the right tools there and start at it. I made up those bolts that were short on the injector lines on the return. I have 1/2 in. This is my second one. This was just done by hand. You can see it's tapering into itself there, but hopefully you'll get the right flow rate. It seems to be maybe about 4 mil length there on the cross section. On the narrowest part is a M6 bolt. That's, I measured it maybe about 5, but it's better to be looking at it than for it. Stick those in. Trying to put down the camera and do it at the same time is a bit difficult, so try to get 2 hands on it. is a two-hand job. I think I've actually managed to get it started. It's difficult with the camera. That's a good thing. So I haven't squeezed it up fully. I'm not actually too sure if the flats are going to bind with the flats off of the line up the holes, so there's a bit of trial and error with this. I'm going to put this one on without a copper washer while. So just got a normal galvanized bolt, and took the measurements off of the existing one. So it was about 18 millimeters long, and from the tip to tip, and the flat spot was about 9.5 mil back from the end of the bolt, and I suppose the flats on the threads were ground down to about 5 mil, but I've had about 4 mil in places, which shouldn't affect it really. So when I do get it started, I'll be able to come back and fix it after. So I think I got this on. I did. So if I didn't have the camera, I'd be able to button it up a bit faster, as I'm holding one hand, but I might as well capture it on tape. Two of them finally on. Well, moving swiftly onto the injector pump. So I'm going to take off Allen screws. So how I know there's something wrong with the injector pump is that this is the stop lever. But nothing really happening. If this is fully open, it should affect this stop lever, but doesn't seem to be any interaction between the two. So I'm going to have a go off of wring it out. Just remember the hole is in, so it's the top hole there next to the lever, just for future reference. And the spring, can't really make out the connection, but one is behind this, not to show the ground is. It's actually underneath that stopper adjustment lever or bolt. Seems to be a bit of a spring in it, hope it doesn't take off. That wasn't too bad. Goes on like that. Try and keep the orientation of it. See, so I'm looking for those two banjo bolts. So the easiest way is maybe take off those two jewel clips. My jewel clip screwdriver is back in my car, so that's another way. So as far as I know, that's a bleed nipple. I think there's one here as well. There's actually a filter, pencil filter I think it's called, inside here. But I'm going to take off the cover first. I've got the filter then after. So the hitting these bolts doesn't feel great, so I'm using the flat side of the Allen key and not the ball side. Seem to be the same bolt. That's the second one to come out. It's probably a bit tricky to get a square land in it. Green wire is something I tried. I thought when I was at this injector pump first, I thought they might energise a stop valve if there was one. But it didn't work. When I took off the stop valve, there was no insides to it, so it wasn't serving any purpose. Next, so this size 8 is kind of slipping a small bit. The size 7 isn't fitting, so it could be an imperial size, which I don't have. Seems to have broken its way open. I'm not sure if the cover will come off with this on, so I'll just take it off now. Potentially might just come away, but I'm not too sure. Ooh. So there's a spring in that. Try and remember the orientation of it. So that seems to be the 4 bolts of it. I'm not too sure if that bit on the bottom has to come off. This thing. I'll try and wiggle it without taking it off. So we give it a tap with a socket there. She did bring it. See, I'll use that for putting it back on. Got a bit of a reaction. Ooh, the diesel is a little bit in there. Seems to be caught on this corner here for some reason. Making sure those shafts pushing. Might be something to do with that button there. So I have a diagram. I stop this video for a while, have a look at it. There seems to be something on this area, hold it on. Might have to take out this jewelry clip here, or sorry, spring clip. battery isn't really, or the phone isn't really focusing on it, but so this plunger here seems stuck. I'll try and free it up. I'll use the lever that's with it. It's handedly been tied up. Seems to be moving with the lever, but I wouldn't say it's 100% free either. So yeah, keep twisty there. So this throttle mechanism does seem free enough. Just the stopper seems a small bit stuck. I'm going to try and stick it back together. I am missing a piece, but I'll find it at some stage. Won't let it stop me a while. I'll keep going with it. So I haven't found out yet if that's supposed to be bent. So what I'll do is actually I'll look that up first, see if that's supposed to be straight. I would have taken some force to bend it, so it would be unusual if it wasn't meant to be bent, but it doesn't really look uniform. Reading valve seems free. I'm not going to take it apart anymore. So that's the holder I had an issue with the rubber. Just be cognizant of that when you're taking it off. I picked up a parts magnetic thread. I should use it from the start. It would have mitigated against me losing that plunger, but I'll have a scavenge around the ground down a while with the magnets there and try and pick it up. What I'm trying to do at the moment is, well, put it back together as much as I can. I reckon it's the I was saying earlier about the bend in that the bend in the shaft here with the spring on it. Wasn't sure if it was meant to be there or not, but what I can see is that, like, when this I'm not too sure, is it a governor or something? I'm not 100% sure what this mechanism is called here. When the governor is in the fully open position, the plunger is in the fully open position. When it's in the closed position, like that's fully closed as well. So open and close, the interaction between both seems to be kind of within spec, we'll call it, because if this was here and this was straight, that would be back, and if this one back, it would be back even more. So I think this is okay. Let's put that there. So when I push this back with the stopper, I should see the accelerator move as well, so I'll know that both of them are okay in relation to each other, that are connected properly. In Bundy Bear's YouTube video, there's 3 holes in this plate. Just to forgive the lights, there's 3 holes in this plate, but in my one there's only 1, so it can only go in one way. That's one thing I didn't note when I was taking it off, and I lost the footage. Never pressed stop, and it deleted, so you can't show you how I took it apart. But so I can only put it back one way here, but the 3 holes in the accelerator lever are the same. So it's the second last one there, if you see it, second last one. So the light is gone on my phone, so I'm working under the torch at the moment. I'm going to try to put this back together and see how I get on. So I'll press pause there, and I'll get back into the action when I can. So I'm just going to go for it with reassembly. Light isn't great in this phone, the battery's going dead, so I don't know how much I can show you, but what I'm trying to do is get the lever, stopper lever, engaged in it, and the cover. I'll be putting on the spring, trying to line it with the stopper lever and put it back on. So I somehow managed to get this on onto that again. Next mission, should I choose to accept it or not, is trying to get the stopper aligned with the stopper shaft, we'll call it. There's 2 rows there, trying to line those. When I put it down, I think I have to push it back a bit. So I've absolutely no idea if that aligned. So it doesn't seem to have seated properly for me. What I'll try is open it up, and this seems the natural position of it seems to be to open up fully, so I'll try and do that. Still seems to be riding up a small bit. What I'm trying to do is twist the stopper a bit. That might bed in then. So I've seen where these are popped off. Today I'm back at the machine again. I was at it last night. I took off the cover off the injection pump and I suppose just thinking around it really. I don't know did I do much to it, but what I'm trying to do now today is prime the diesel through the injection pump and see if it'll start for myself. So what I've done is I've bled the 2 screws on the injection pump and I'm about to try and start it now. So the battery's hooked up and just trying to start it. I have tried it over a few times, but it hasn't started yet. So hopefully I'm going to catch it on this video, and we can go from there then. So this is my apparatus set up, the booster pack, the batteries, and I've a wire connected onto the starter to start it. The injector's cracked, so what I'm trying to do is monitor the fluid coming out of it to see if all the air got out of the system. So this is my starting. Oops. Well, I have to connect it on the inside again. So right. I forgot I had that disconnected, as you do. Take 2. So I'm about to start the swing over the engine and hope to start it. So this is where I'm at. This is my apparatus. So I can see diesel spraying out of injector 2 and injector 4, so I'm going to tighten them up because I know there's fuel getting to them. And hopefully there'll be a response off injector 1 and injector 3. Even if it ran on 2 injectors, not the end of the world. I'm going to try that again and hopefully there'll be a response of it. So this is the first time we've gotten some real results. Haven't seen that much of these come out before, but hopefully they'll start. So here goes. So good signs there, sounds like it's going to start. We're going to nip up the other two and hopefully it's going to crank, fingers crossed. So that's all 4 injectors tightened, the injector lines and the injector pump tightened. So it sounds as if it was going to start. Hopefully it won't run away. I don't know what position the throttle is in, so I'm not too sure if it's going to take off of me or what. But what I might do before I start it is rig up a wire to the stopper, and just so I can run around and turn off fast. I think that might be a good idea. So I won't be able to get to it fast enough to stop it should something bad occur. And I suppose I don't want it to destroy itself right away. So just check it there for water or antifreeze. I put antifreeze into it. Last night I took the pipe off it. It's cold this weather in Ireland, but I put it in this way so it has a bit of a mechanical advantage on it. They can pull the stopper, that's the stopper here, look. They can pull the stopper sideways. So I'll just leave that down there. So we'll be able to pull it from the side, and it has sideboard thrust to pull the stopper, so I'm not too sure if that's open or this is open, so I'll leave it kind of midways on it. So if I do get it started, this is what it currently looks like. So it hasn't been moved in a long time. Bucket and quick hitch for taking off it. I'll have to pick up one of those. If you know where I can get parts of this, please hit me up in the comments section. So Here goes nothing. So you can hear it almost starting, so what I might do is put a bit of easy start into it. I don't have much of it left, so here's hoping I'll be able to do what I wanted to. Camera isn't in the best of angles to capture all this. I'll try put it under my chin, see what happens. So here goes testing, trying the first start with all the injectors tight. So I think I need to put some down to the throttle as well, because I can't reach that either. I don't have a cable with me. There is another one out now here. I think that's my first proper start without any help from Easy Start to maintain it. I know it started it alright, but it didn't. All I needed was a small squirt. I was using big squirts before that. So what I'm going to do is rig on this into the throttle, and hopefully that'll get me started. I'm going to go the same loop. I'm going to try to see does it go this way first. What I can do is I can put it through here and just pull it left or right depending on which way it reacts when pulled. So it'll either conk out or it'll rev up. So I can pull it this way or try and pull it that way. So I'll leave that over here for myself. So I won't thoroughly be delighted until it's running and I have a bit of a response of it. Fuel level here dropped down a small bit, so I'm not too sure if there could be a potential leak. It was up to about here. I'm going to monitor this and see how it goes. But with this machine, I know that there's going to be rotten hoses on it, and I have the potential of losing that. So there's about the bones €150 worth of oil in it at the moment, and that's only to get it to there. So I'm I suppose the joys of machinery, you're going to get these kind of things. So without further ado, I'm going to try and give it a go again. That started without easy start. It started anyway. Didn't stay going though. I don't know, something give you out inside it, but yeah, sure, we'll keep trying it, I suppose. It's about to have a few teething problems. I hope it's able to draw fuel as well using the fuel pump. That could be one problem for lack of fuel. So it's not staying running, which is a bad sign. What I might end up doing is dropping the oil out of it again. So the oil was fairly congealed when I took it out the first time, and I put in fresh oil into it, but there still could be some congealed oil through the system. I haven't taken off the sump, which I should have had, but I may end up doing that yet, seeing as this, if it doesn't stay going, it's another troubleshooting point I can avenue I can go down. So and I'll just maybe so I don't know why it's not staying running. I can only presume it's because it's been parked up for so many years and it's been out in the rain, out in the open. I'm going to see does the stopper work in it. If it does, another avenue to try. That took us time to work, but it did work. That's a small bit disappointing. So it must be something to do with the fuel pump. I'm going to check is there diesel in that fuel line from underneath here, which there is. So that is disappointing. So the last thing I did there was I pulled the stopper, so that might have affected it somehow. I can do is just trial and error again. The stopper could be faulty in some way. I pulled the stopper there a bit, so I hope it's kind of halfway open. The stopper walked halfway open. I don't know what the issue is there. It's a bit unusual. pull the stopper a bit again, just to see, well, that stopper is currently midway in it. See, will that do anything to it? Nope. Put it back to where it was at the start. The throttles, I think it's just moving or something to that effect. I don't know what to make of it really. It is interesting. It's not staying running for me. I might do is leave the camera here and I suppose put the stopper and things in a certain way and see what happens. Try using the hydraulics that time, she stalled straight away. But, I think it seems to work with this back and this kind of forward, so I'm going to do a bit better than that. Was only for a quick job. I don't know why it's starting and stopping like that. It must be some form of an ear lock through it still, but see how it goes. Don't know why it's doing what it's doing. I'm going to try and maybe hold this back in this direction in case it's moving. I haven't looked at the footage yet, but I know when the governor was moving sometimes the arm went forward on it, so that may do something. I've locked this back in this position, this is forward, so there's still a bit of scope in it, but it should give it enough diesel to start hopefully next time around. It seems like the turbo was spooling. Could be still something potentially still wrong with those lever arms, because fiddling, I'm not doing much of them, but actuating back and forth does do something, and I may have to take off the cover again, but I'm just gonna try a few more times here. These are the times when a second pair of hands helps. I might get to a friend of mine there just to give me a dig out. That turbo seems to have only got going there now. Maybe it was blocked up. Maybe some sort of back pressure on it. But when it stopped, I could hear it still spinning. So the turbo was spooling. Maybe the oil hasn't got up to it. So I'll try it a few more times just to have the fresh oil gone through it, and then I'll change out the oil again. So Hopefully that will help things. So by maybe messing with this, could be my next protocol is maybe change out the oil again. Maybe the oil isn't getting into everywhere. What I'll do is I'll leave it rest for a small bit and see does it start again, because what it seems to be doing is that it drains itself of whatever diesel is inside the injector pump. So it seems by actuating the lever arms on it that it releases more diesel into injector pump and into injectors. So there could be a disconnect. Maybe it is the metering valve. I didn't take it out, I just actuated it while I had the cover off. Maybe I do have to dig in a bit more and pull out the metering valve. So that's another line of troubleshooting I can follow up. I have a few avenues, so that's good. I've been at this now a while, a few hours, and it just seems to start. It stays running for a bit and then conks out. Not too sure what the problem is. Could be something maybe to do with the governor again or the injection pump. I haven't opened it up since. I'm trying different things. I've changed the oil filter, loosened off those screws I put on the return injector lines. I thought maybe the flats could have been in the wrong spot or something, but tried a few things, didn't work. I think I have to go back to the injection pump again. My batteries aren't great and I don't like running them low, so I don't know what I might pack up for today, but I will return and try the injection pump again, and hopefully I'll get it going. Other than that, it'll be bring on another machine and get it out of the yard.